Good morning, everyone. Clint McLaughlin here with Midwest Market Management. I've got Riley Sykart on with me here today. It is Thursday, September 4th. Rather brisk morning out there today, Riley. It is definitely hoodie material. I do not know where fall came from, but it came in quick, fast, and it's here.
Decided it wasn't going to wait till the middle or end of September. It was going to hit right now. So
Yeah.
I love sweatshirt weather. So for me, I'm not complaining about it, but I think the summer lovers are crying every morning when they wake up right now.
Most definitely, and moving forward, I think it is going to have some impacts on how we finish this crop out. I know up here for sure, producers are already getting nervous about dry down period and things like that because, granted, we're up here in northern country, but we want to finish this crop out, and the only thing worse than 390 cash corn is paying to dry 390 cash corn.
Yeah, that's no fun. So got quite a bit of maps going on today too, with crop conditions coming out late from Labor Day. So I'm just going to hop into it because we got a decent amount to cover here today.
Sure.
Starting out here, corn conditions. Interesting. This time of year, you and I have mentioned it's normal for crop conditions to start fading. We saw corn go down 2% on Tuesday. That's not the part that gives me any interest. It's the states in the East taking such a big hit. Illinois, Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana, all down. Other than Indiana, all down 6 to 7. So that's pretty big moves for that Eastern belt, Clinton.
And then Iowa didn't drop it all, and that makes no sense at all. I'm seeing footage of fields next to each other. This one was sprayed with fungicide. This one's not. Clear and obvious that these fields are prematurely dying, and we have zero movement at all in Iowa. Just doesn't add up.
No, I'm in full agreement there, but I guess
we're reporting numbers, so let's stick to the numbers. USDA, no change in Iowa.
Yep, that's why I don't work for them. Moving in, denting progress, still right in line with average. Corn reaching maturity, everything at or ahead of average. So, but this isn't necessarily a good thing. I wouldn't be shocked to see these numbers get ahead of average due to the rust issues and what's came, especially in states like Iowa, northern half of Illinois, and that eastern belt too. Since they have a lack of moisture right now and drought, they are drying down quicker than normal. So I wouldn't be shocked to see this maturity rate move pretty fast, Clint.
Yeah.
So moving in, soybean conditions, pretty big swing this week. Went from 69% good to excellent to 65. Pretty plain and simple as to why. Eastern Belt took a pretty big jag out of it. And then even Iowa and Nebraska down 2 and 4%. So getting to the time of year where bean conditions as well, those are going to drop pretty quick. But one thing I thought was interesting is our bean conditions now are actually lower than they were last year at this time. So keep that in mind when later on when we start looking into yields, if there is a hit. I guess USDA and their crop conditions telling us that yield might not be out there. So worth keeping in mind there. Soybeans dropping leaves, which means they're basically getting ready for harvest, or if not, reaching full maturity and ready to be harvested. 11%, 10% is the average, so not really anything there unexpected yet. So moving over to the actual weather side of things here, 1 to 5 day highs. Not really anything too concerning on the high side, but to flip to the other side of things, new one we added here today, 1 to 7 day low temperatures. Looking in Minnesota, Wisconsin, and the Dakotas, on a widespread basis, it doesn't look like there's going to be a big frost issue. But Clint, I think the potential's there. there could be some small areas that have a frost concern, and overall on a national standpoint, it's not going to be a huge effect on the crops, but it could cause an impact.
From what we're seeing here, it's nothing more than the equivalent of an isolated hailstorm going through and maybe doing some damage and maybe not.
Exactly. So not anything super concerning as of now, but doesn't mean that can't change. So
Yeah, but it's the 4th of September, so the trend is probably more of the question mark here.
Yep. So worth keeping an eye on for sure. So moving in 6 to 10 day, Western belt showing a little bit more heat, but that Minnesota, Wisconsin, North Dakota staying pretty cool there. So going to be important to watch. Looking in the last 2 weeks of rainfall, there hasn't really been any new rains this week, so I'm not going to spend any time there. But because there hasn't been any rains, this drought monitor map, Clint, big changes from last week. This Eastern belt, that there is a lot of color there now in the Eastern belt.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah,
it's a big change.
I'm not screaming that we're going to have major issues, but the fact is that Eastern belt needs rains pretty bad to finish out a crop.
Yeah.
So moving forward here, 1 to 5 day precip. Rains have actually been taken out or lowered in the forecast quite a bit. So you can see some of Kentucky and Ohio looking to catch some of that northeastern part of the U.S. rain, but everybody else is looking like they're pretty much going to miss out or have chances at some spotty stuff like down in Kansas and Missouri. So 6 to 10 day, very similar here. Some spotty chances in Iowa, Wisconsin. That Eastern belt, though, not normal to see zeros that heavy across the scale right now, Clint, especially when they need rains as much as they do.
No, not good.
So I would say at this point, it's safe to say weather is not adding any bushels. It's taken away. So
not the finish you would be hoping for.
No. So putting it all together, the 1 to 13, the spotty stuff looks more possible in the northern states, the Wisconsin, Minnesota, North Dakota, and then that belt that's coming through the eastern northeast U.S. is still showing it could hit Ohio, Kentucky. But other than that, Clint, on the map side of things, that's all I got today. And it's looking pretty dry, and questions are, I don't know about you, I'm starting to ask some questions.
Sure. Yeah, well, time will tell. We got another report coming up here in probably a weekish, somewhere in there, and then won't be too long, and the beans will start getting stripped out of there, and we'll get to see what the real yield predictors say as the monitors give us some indication of where we're at. But yeah, it's definitely not the close to the season that you would have anticipated. On the other hand, I guess you shouldn't be overly shocked to see it drying out just because of the law of averages. And if you get a whole bunch of rain early in the year, usually it averages things out. Temperature wise, usually you kind of have your average temperature over the year. We spent a lot of time this summer above normal. Now here comes the below normal. So it shouldn't be overly shocking, but certainly not what we were looking for, particularly in the Eastern belt. So Riley, I appreciate you putting the maps together. Again, Clint McLaughlin, Riley Sykard, Midwest Market Management. Check us out on our website. Hope to hear from you soon. Thanks a lot and have a great day.
This material has been prepared by a sales or trading employee or agent of Midwest Market Management and is in the nature of a solicitation. This material is not a research report prepared by of Midwest Market Management Research Department. By accepting this communication, you agree that you are an experienced user of the futures markets, capable of making independent trading decisions, and agree that you are not and will not rely solely on this communication in making trading decisions. Distribution in some jurisdictions may be prohibited or restricted by law. Persons in possession of this communication indirectly should inform themselves about and observe any such prohibition or restrictions. To the extent that you have received this communication indirectly and solicitations are prohibited in your jurisdiction without registration, the market commentary in this communication should not be considered a solicitation. The risk of loss in trading futures and/or options is substantial, and each investor and/or trader must consider whether this is a suitable investment. Past performance, whether actual or indicated by simulated historical tests of strategies, is not indicative of future results. Trading advice is based on information taken from trades and statistical services and other sources that of Midwest Market Management believes are reliable. We do not guarantee that such information is accurate or complete, and it should not be relied upon as such. Trading advice reflects our good faith judgment at a specific time and is subject to change without notice. There is no guarantee that the advice we give will result in profitable trades.